My child, I speak to you this day concerning a pattern I observe within the journey of many hearts. A moment of profound significance that often feels like an insurmountable wall. I watch as you embark upon your unique path, diligently addressing the myriad challenges that arise. With each difficult problem you solve, a profound sense of accomplishment blossoms within you. Tasks that once seemed daunting now yield to your earnest effort, becoming smoother, more familiar with each passing moment. Your confidence grows steadily, rooted deeply in the tangible evidence of your growing capabilities, and you feel established, truly making significant progress in the life I have so lovingly given you. You believe you are mastering the rhythms and demands of your existence, growing stronger with every obstacle overcome. Then, without any warning, a problem emerges that stubbornly resists all your fervent efforts. No matter how diligently you strive, how much wisdom you gather from your experiences, or how deeply you delve into understanding the intricate layers of the situation, this one particular obstacle remains. It stands unyielding before you, a formidable barrier preventing your ascent to a new and higher level, holding you back from the brand new life I intend for you. This singular challenge might manifest in various forms. Perhaps a deeply ingrained habit that seems impossible to break, a persistent addiction that clings to your spirit, or a circumstance in your immediate surroundings that defies all logical resolution and human intervention. The weight of it presses upon you with an intensity that causes profound stress and leads many to retreat to old familiar patterns, to the very place from which they began to escape, because they yield to the temptation to give up. Their spirit feels burdened, their hope begins to wane, and the path forward appears obscured by this singular, persistent difficulty. But I say to you now, my child, do not surrender in this season. For to do so would mean beginning your journey anew, sacrificing the progress you have already made. This moment, this specific juncture of perplexity and confusion, is not an end point or a sign of failure, but rather a powerful beginning. It is the very threshold of a magnificent breakthrough. You have arrived at a point in your life where a problem presents itself, a problem you cannot solve by your own strength or intellect alone. This, my child, is by my precise design. It is precisely at this moment that I desire you to place your complete and unwavering trust in me, to relinquish your hold on self-reliance and lean entirely into my boundless wisdom and power. This moment is an invitation to witness my hand at work in ways you have never imagined. For I see how, when you are close to unraveling a complex problem, when you are diligently gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understanding through your own efforts, and your spirit feels elevated by your successes, a dangerous pride can subtly enter your heart. It whispers illusions of self-sufficiency. The moment you begin to believe you have it all figured out, that you alone possess the answers and the strength, the adversary of your soul seeks to twist that growing confidence into arrogance. He will cunningly use your own thoughts against you, sowing deceptive seeds of self-reliance where trust in me should flourish and deepen. This is why you must continually turn your trust toward me, consciously and deliberately. The instant you begin to lean solely on your own understanding, relying on your limited perspective, the path before you becomes clouded with confusion, and you inevitably stray from the clear direction I have lovingly set for you. That is why I have declared that if you acknowledge me in all your ways, I shall direct your paths, making them straight and clear for you to follow. Your recognition of my sovereignty in every aspect of your life opens the way for my perfect guidance. So, if your life has become arduous, marked by that one persistent problem you cannot resolve despite every effort, understand this profound truth. It is the precursor to a deep and lasting turning point. It is the beginning of your breakthrough. I am preparing to bless your life in ways you cannot yet conceive, to shift circumstances around you for your ultimate good and the fulfillment of my divine purpose for you. This difficulty is not a punishment, but a preparation, a clearing of the path for the greater things I have in store. Consider my faithful servant Job. He was a man of remarkable integrity, upright in his dealings, and deeply devoted to me, one who consistently turned away from evil. Yet, a wager was laid in my heavenly courts, a challenge to his unwavering devotion, a test of the very core of his faith. I permitted the adversary to test his faith, knowing the profound depth and sincerity of Job's heart, knowing he possessed an enduring spirit that would honor me even through the deepest trials. Job faced an unimaginable series of losses. He lost his beloved family, his vast possessions, and his robust health. Friends came, not to comfort him in his distress, but to condemn and rebuke him, urging him to curse me and abandon his faith, questioning his integrity and his relationship with me. Yet, in the midst of this overwhelming chaos and the crushing weight of their accusations, Job held firm to one unshakable truth. His trust remained steadfast in me. He continued to offer his heartfelt prayers to me, remaining faithful even when despair threatened to overwhelm his spirit, even when he longed to give up and simply cease to exist. His spirit, though wounded, refused to break from my embrace. Job endured multiple problems that defied his human understanding, trials that he had done nothing to provoke or deserve. Yet, he held fast to his devotion. He eschewed evil, avoiding it at all costs, even when surrounded by the darkness of his circumstances. When malicious influences sought to draw near, attempting to sway his heart or embitter his spirit, he responded with persistent prayer, pouring out his heart to me in honest and humble supplication. He was in a predicament he could not unravel, unable to comprehend the profound reasons for his suffering. But instead of abandoning me in his confusion, he continued to reflect upon my eternal truths, repeating them over his life, allowing them to anchor his soul, and he remained faithful. He persisted in prayer, praying his way through the disorder and perplexity when he could not discern a logical path out of it, trusting that my wisdom transcended his understanding. One of the profound prayers Job spoke in that moment of utter desolation, after all his initial and devastating losses, was this, a declaration born of deep wisdom and unwavering trust. Then Job arose, and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, "Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. I gave, and I have taken away. Blessed be my name. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged me foolishly." My child, observe the deep wisdom and spiritual maturity within Job's declaration. Even amidst such profound and undeserved suffering, he never responded to me with folly or anger. He understood with a clarity that few possess, that I placed him in this world, and that I could determine his departure from it. He acknowledged his entry into this life in humble vulnerability and accepted his eventual departure in the same manner. He honored my sovereignty, respecting my allowance for these painful events to unfold in his life, for the adversary to test his faith. These, my child, are the very qualities that bring me immense pleasure and deep satisfaction. When you remain faithful under duress, when you continue to turn to me with your whole heart, not a fragmented piece of it, regardless of the fierce storms raging in your life. Your steadfastness in such moments speaks volumes to me. If your life has become exceedingly difficult, and you find yourself confronting that one persistent problem you cannot solve, understand that it is because certain obstacles are beyond your ability to clear on your own. You need me to forge the way for you, for I desire your complete devotion, your entire heart, not just the parts you can manage. If your faith is being tested in this season, understand that it is because I have entrusted you with this pain, knowing that it holds a purpose. I know precisely how much you can bear, and I allow no burden beyond your capacity to endure with my strength infused within you. This experience of profound difficulty often precedes a significant breakthrough, a turning point that will redefine your journey. You arrive at a juncture where one moment, everything seemed to be progressing well, and the very next, everything appears to be terribly amiss, thrown into disarray. It feels agonizing. You do not wish to experience this pain, this discomfort. Yet this is often what unfolds just before I unleash a mighty blessing upon your life, right before that life-changing moment arrives, bringing with it a profound and lasting transformation. When that pivotal moment of crisis arrives, you stand at a crossroads with two distinct paths before you. Will you continue forward, trusting me through the pain, so you can witness the glorious transformation that lies beyond it? Or will you yield to despair and give up, abandoning the very threshold of your deliverance? My child, abandoning your faith is the last thing you should ever choose, for it negates the purpose of all that you have endured. Yet it is precisely what many do when they face intense chaos and misery. They surrender just at the precipice of their deliverance, mere moments away from their triumph. They are one decisive move from success, one crucial conversation from resolution, one step from passing through a door of unparalleled opportunity. This is how incredibly close you often are to your breakthrough. You may have endured a trial for years, and now you stand at the point where you feel you can take no more. You are ready to relinquish your hold, to turn back from the path, finding it increasingly difficult to resist the temptation to retreat, unaware that you are on the very edge of victory. All that is required is your unwavering trust in me, even when your senses betray you. Simply continue to trust me, and your life will undeniably turn for the better, transformed by my loving hand. This is precisely what my servant Job had to do in his season of profound testing. He faced circumstances that were almost unbearable for any human spirit to endure. To free himself from the crushing weight that pressed upon his spirit, he offered it to me through persistent prayers. He persistently sought my guidance on how to withstand the fiery arrows hurled by the adversary, how to maintain his integrity and faith. So, after all his suffering, after Job had lost his health, his family, his friends, experiencing the profound abandonment that accompanied the loss of everything precious, I accepted his prayers. I heard the cries of his heart, and I responded. And it is written concerning my work in his life. After Job had prayed for his friends, I restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. All his brothers and sisters and everyone who had known him before came and ate with him in his house. They comforted him and consoled him over all the trouble I had brought on him, and each one gave him a piece of silver and a gold ring. I blessed the latter part of Job's life more than the former part. He had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. And further, he had daughters of unparalleled beauty throughout the land, and he granted them an inheritance among their brothers, a sign of my abundant favor. And he lived to the age of 140 years, his days stretching long and full, filled with joy and prosperity. Thus, I restored every single thing that the adversary attempted to steal from him, and I blessed him with double the measure he had possessed before. His life became a testament to my faithfulness and restorative power. My child, I speak of Job to you this day for a profound reason. Imagine if he had given up. Imagine if he had thrown down his efforts, if he had ceased his persistent prayers. Imagine if he had stopped believing and trusting in me. Everything he endured would have been in vain, all his suffering without purpose. It would have all been for naught, a bitter emptiness. Job did not know that I was preparing to bless his life in such a magnificent way. I accepted his prayers. He prayed for the very people who had turned against him, who had accused and condemned him. He prayed concerning his difficult situation, expressing his heart to me, even in his pain. Indeed, some of his prayers were expressions of acceptance of what was unfolding, of acknowledging my sovereign hand even in the mystery. And I heard his heartfelt requests. I saw his tears. I heard his cries for deliverance. And I indeed delivered him from his problems, bringing him into a season of unprecedented blessing. So I say to you, if you are experiencing a terrible season now, especially after a period of ease and prosperity, you know the feeling of a good life, and you have known difficult times before, but this particular moment feels different, more intense. There is a spiritual dimension to it that eludes your comprehension, a problem you cannot unravel with your human understanding. This problem, my child, is not a typical one. It is, by my design, a doorway I am preparing to open for you, a passage to something far greater. This is literally the commencement of your breakthrough, the very dawn of your new reality. All your troubles are poised to be swept away by my mighty hand. I am preparing to restore what you may have lost because of this current trial, and to multiply it. I am preparing to present you with opportunities beyond your wildest imaginings, opportunities you may have believed would never materialize, believing they were delayed or foreclosed forever because of this very problem. This problem was strategically designed, my child, precisely because of what I am about to do next in your life, to set the stage for my magnificent work. I may even utilize this very situation to bring restoration to your family, positioning you to be the one who breaks ancestral patterns of poverty or lack, to establish a new legacy. For it is written concerning Job's daughters, "Now in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren." Consider this deeply for a moment. Job lost everything, including his fortune, his entire legacy. Imagine the immense burden this placed upon his family, the profound sense of insecurity and devastation. Job was their provider, and his accumulated wealth was intended as a sacred inheritance for his children. Envision losing all of that and his family, his wife, witnessing such widespread devastation. This can inflict immense emotional and spiritual distress upon everyone involved, shaking the foundations of their security. But I say to you, this problem is drawing to a close because of the steadfastness of your prayers through this situation, just as Job prayed through his overwhelming trials. And I blessed him with twice as much as he possessed before, restoring his fortune and then doubling it. Now he was able not only to provide abundantly for his family, but to leave an extraordinary and abundant legacy, rich in both material wealth and spiritual blessing. So though this situation may seem terrible and unbearable to you right now, I am preparing to bless your life so profoundly that tears of joy will stream down your face in gratitude and awe. You are poised to be freed from limitation and from this perplexing problem that has held you captive. My hand is already at work, preparing your release. Sometimes, my child, when you are mere moments away from entering a brand new life, filled with my blessings, the adversary will intensify his efforts to make you give up. He does not wish for you to receive the inheritance I have so carefully prepared for you. He does not desire your blessings, nor does he want you to walk in the fullness of my purpose. He seeks to prevent you from offering prayers for those who have wronged you, for he knows the power of such prayers. I reveal to you now, as was exemplified by my faithful servant Job, that it is deeply pleasing to me when you pray in a way the adversary never expects. When those who oppose you, who cause you pain, are met with your loving prayers. This brings me great satisfaction and disarms the enemy's schemes. When you are so very close, that is precisely when the seemingly unsolvable problems begin to appear, attempting to deter you. But that problem, my child, is already transforming into a key that I am preparing to use to unlock a door that was previously closed to you. And whatever door I open, no human hand can shut it, for my decrees are absolute and eternal. This unfolding always occurs at the genesis of a breakthrough, when the old must give way to the new. Therefore, trust me in this season. Do not give up, for if you do, you will find yourself starting over, repeating cycles you have already overcome. If you surrender in the midst of what is happening, at the very beginning of this unfolding, all your efforts and suffering will have been in vain, serving no purpose. Do not allow what you are experiencing to be without purpose, for I desire to use every single aspect of this to bless your life immeasurably, turning every pain into a powerful testimony of my goodness. If problems in your life seem beyond your capacity to solve, I intend for you to relinquish them to me, to cast your burdens upon my shoulders, for I possess the answers you seek, and my strength is made perfect in your weakness. My child, understand that often when you are nearing a profound turning point in your life, it may feel more like increasing chaos and darkness than the arrival of a blessing. It may not feel like my favor at first, but rather like an intensification of pressure. In many situations, things appear to worsen significantly before they truly improve, before the light of my dawn breaks through. Even in the journey of my Anointed One, he faced the greatest suffering imaginable before his ultimate triumph and ascension. He did not wish to endure the cross, yet he embraced it with selfless love. It grew worse before it became better, culminating in death before resurrection. But because of the profound joy that lay before him, the promise of abiding eternally at my right hand, and the salvation of humanity, he endured the cross and laid down his life for all. This, my child, is how you navigate these difficult moments. You must keep your gaze fixed on the things that are above, on my eternal promises and your spiritual inheritance, not on the fleeting and challenging earthly circumstances. You must maintain a precise focus on the path laid by my Anointed One, who showed you the way to victory. That is the joy set before you, the glorious outcome that awaits. Through him, you are assured of a victorious outcome, for there will always be triumph when my Anointed One is at the forefront of your life, guiding your steps and sustaining your spirit. This is how you overcome, especially when the adversary attacks with all his might, for he does not wish to see you leap with joy as I turn everything around for your good. And I declare to you, my child, this is precisely what is about to happen for you. So continue to hold fast to your faith, for I am with you always. I love you, and my plans for you are good. My beloved, the path I have set for you that leads directly to triumph. Keep your gaze fixed on my eternal promises, not on the temporary storms around you. Though the adversary may rage, know that my strength is within you, always turning every detail for your ultimate good. This joyous turn of events is imminent for you, my child. Hold fast to your faith, for I am ever present, sustaining your spirit. My plans for you are good, and my love for you is endless. Now let this truth move through you. Spread this light to 3 others who need to remember my constant presence. Be a messenger of my hope. Then choose to walk with me daily, my precious one, letting my direction guide your every step. Finally, seal this truth deep within your spirit. Proclaim aloud, Amen. Stand with me in this declaration, letting it anchor your heart in unwavering trust.